because print continues to be there, print continues to make a lot of money, and it's not going away anytime soon. So most media companies have typically depended on advertising and subscriptions for their revenue. That's been almost 100% of how they have done. But increasingly, smart media companies in the digital world are realizing that the journalism or content that they're producing can be monetized in different ways. The experience of the newsroom can be monetized in different ways. That has become a pretty significant opportunity for especially magazine companies. For example, Time magazine now actually does a big event around the Time 100 list, which they've been doing for a long time. Atlantic, which is again another magazine, almost 25% of their revenue now comes from events. And events are nothing but taking your journalism, getting people to talk to you, but putting them on a stage, and often leads to sponsorship and tickets and all of that. Podcasts has become a pretty interesting way for newsrooms to create revenue streams. The New York Times podcast has been downloaded 1 billion times. It's the most successful podcast in the history of all podcasts. That's from a news company. So I think that's another opportunity. With Disney and Netflix and Hulu and everybody else getting into streaming in a big way, a lot of them are looking for content, and a lot of the content is coming from news organizations which have done investigative stories, which have done interesting features that can be turned into streaming shows, and a lot of companies are creating revenue off that. There's a whole area around memberships, which is an evolution where you're taking the subscription approach, adding a lot more value and creating a membership model where your subscribers or your readers are supporting you for multiple years. There are opportunities around education. Again, a company like the New York Times is doing a lot with providing courses, and people are signing up just to take the courses, and that's become an opportunity as well. A lot of people wonder whether subscriptions are really going to save the news industry. If that is the question, the answer is that's not going to happen. What subscriptions will do, especially digital subscriptions, is that they will add a new revenue stream that we didn't have in the last few years because we were giving everything away for free. You will probably get a small fraction of your readers wanting to pay, but that's at least revenue that you didn't have before. And I think there are examples all over the world where even small startup organizations are finding people willing to support journalism and pay amounts or become members and support it in different ways. And I think that's a very optimistic sign that we should be happy about. It's not just the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. They're being successful to the extent they can because they are big and they're global brands. But there are lots of examples from all over the world, including in language markets, not just English, where people seem to be wanting to support journalism. The other interesting thing is the willingness of people to pay for content is starting to really get established, right? Because everybody, that our music, our movies, our television, everybody is starting to charge for something online. So a lot more people are willing to kind of understand that it's okay to pay for something online. We have a challenge in the news business because we gave it away, especially online, for free. So we do have a challenge, but a lot of young people are growing up thinking it's okay to pay for content online. So that's a positive development as well. So I remain optimistic. Subscriptions as one source of revenue, I don't think it's going to be the end-all answer to all of our problems. It's only a year ago that 50% of the world's population has gotten on the internet. That means there are another 3 billion people who are going to come on the internet in the next 5, 10, 15 years. So even if a small share of them consume news, that's a lot of consumers that we are getting to consume our product. So what we are producing has never been in larger demand in the history of journalism. So in that sense, the product is being wanted. So the challenge has been, how do we kind of reach all these people and how do we make money off that? And the examples I give of multiple revenue streams can provide some answers. So I'm optimistic, and I think journalism has been very strong around the world in terms of investigative journalism, in terms of exposing governments, in terms of exposing corruption. That has never been stronger because young journalists today have multimedia skills, data skills, and they can use all of that to create a lot more compelling story than we used to do when we were only writing for newspapers. So I think journalism is in a good place. The business of journalism is challenged, but there are some opportunities to try to raise new revenue streams to help good journalism.